Okay, I am going to create a source in Affinity that I just created in Photoshop. I'm going to see the differences. Now, quick disclaimer, I am a very new user to Affinity. I do not claim to be an expert on Affinity. I know Photoshop a lot better, but so yeah, take that with my skill with a grain of salt. As far as the purpose of my videos is to compare the apps for source making. I am not by any means claiming to be an expert at these apps. All right, so here we are in Affinity. The source that I am making, let's go look at it in Photoshop. Okay, this is the source that I created in Photoshop. This is a painting. This was my original, and this is a painting that I actually painted and sold. So then I recreated it in Photoshop for a tutorial, because that is the application I'm most comfortable in. Now I want to create it in Affinity, because Affinity is a lot lower price point than Photoshop. In fact, it is completely free. If you have Canva Pro, if you pay for Canva, there's a couple more features that you can get, but the majority of Affinity is completely free. And I'm going to attempt to use the free version this time. Last time I did it, I didn't realize that the AI tools, you had to have Canva Pro. So we're going to try it without the AI tools, which I know is going to be a little trickier because the removal of the background, those are AI tools. Okay, so here we go. It is an 18 by 24, so we're going to go to inches. We're going to go to pixel up here at the top. That is the version of AI, or the version of Affinity that is the closest to Photoshop. So I'm going to go, I want to make the background black. Where's my layers? Here's my layers right here. I'm going to go get the fill tool. It's right here. This is called the fill tool. So there's two different things here. There's the fill in shapes and the fill flood tool, which completely fills the whole entire area. The color that we are, I'm going to go there, filling white, so I want it to be black, and it just did that. Okay, so here's my color wheel down here. If I double click on it, I get the I can choose my color. I just switched between black and white by clicking back and forth on these two. Now I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to put the main image in, which is my women with glasses. So you can go to File, Place. I'm just going to pull up my folder and drag and drop, and I'm going to drag in my woman. Okay, I'm going to go get my Move tool. Now, to remove the background, if you have Canva Pro, you can click right here. Although since I want to get rid of her whole body and just have her face, and I'm going to keep a little bit of her neck. So honestly, removing the background isn't going to help me in this situation anyway, because it would probably just keep that. So what I'm going to do is I am going to go over here to the eraser, and you have the erase brush tool, background erase, and the flood erase tool. These are the tools that you're going to use if you don't have Canva Pro. I mean, you can still get rid of erase of backgrounds. You just don't have, the kind of the fancy AI tools. In this case, because there really is no background to erase, I'm just going to use a regular eraser. And I am going to make it nice and big. I'm holding the right bracket, which is a keystroke. It's one of my favorite keystrokes, works in Photoshop too. The right bracket makes it nice and big. Right here you've got the opacity, which I need to make sure I'm on the right. There we go. Okay. And so I am literally just erasing here. And it's a really nice eraser. It's working just fine. some of her neck in there. Okay. This is one that I know we are going to have to remove the background because I want to see how it works in this program. So these flowers, I need to remove the background in these flowers. Okay, so if you have Canva Pro and you signed in with your Canva Pro account, you can just use the Canva AI, which is this right here, and you can just literally say remove background, and it's super cool. You just go like that, and it's going to remove the background. Voila. Okay, I'm going to undo that, Command Z, because I want to see how we can do it if we don't have Canva Pro. Okay, so let's go look at these background eraser tools. I'm going to click on, what are my choices here? Background erase or flood erase. Let's see what flood erase does. If you hold your mouse down, it should, if you roll over it, it explains it. Erases pixels of similar color with a single click. Okay, eraser. Yeah, so if I just have the background eraser, I am rolling over and it is taking out the background. It's recognizing that I don't want to erase the flowers, although it is taking out some of the flowers. As you roll over it, it's showing you what it's going to erase, and then you just click on that. So it's pretty cool. It's a little like Procreate that way. It's just kind of, you know, it just takes a little bit longer. Let's see what the flood tool does. Ooh, okay. Flood tool does, in this situation, I don't really like the flood tool because it's taking away too much. I'm going to go back to the background erase and just kind of, yeah, so. You know, it's not AI, but it works just fine. There we go. The flood erase one works better. Took a second for me to get it to work, but now that flood, if the background is pretty solid, is a pretty solid color, that works really nicely. There we go. I have this flower I really like. Now I'm gonna use the blending modes on this flower so I can see her face through it a little bit. The blending modes are over here. I've got normal. I've got obviously have to zoom out so you can see what I'm doing. There we go. Usually lighter colors like lighten and screen work better when you have a dark background. Ooh, color dodge is nice. Add. I really like that. Overlay. I love the part of this that's on her face, but the part that's off her face, you can't see it all, so I'd have to duplicate it. That's super pretty though. That soft light, hard light. I always like pin light a lot. Look how pretty pin light is. I'm gonna go with pin light for what you can do then is duplicate the layer. I'm going to control click on the layer. I am going to duplicate it. Now I have two of those, and the second one I am going to go for a different blending mode, say lighter color. Now I have two flowers. The second flower, the one that's on top, I am going to erase. This time I'm just going to get the regular eraser, and I am going to erase the part that's on top of her face because I really like that look that's on her face, that whatever blending mode that was I used, pin light I think, but I don't want that same look. So I love that kind of, that's how to get a real luminosity kind of see-through look. the flower that's off of her face looks normal, but the part that's on her face looks see-through. And you can see her lips. And anyway, kind of a neat effect there. I'm going to get rid of the stem, though. I don't need the stem. Okay, let's go get the dragonfly. There it is. Pull that in there. I'm going to go way down here with that dragonfly. I'm going to, again, I'm not going to take the background out yet because I really like that glowy background, but I'm going to play with the blending tools and see what I can get it to do. So you notice, because I can always erase the part that's over the flower, but look how pretty it looks. And of course, since I've already made this source, I want to do different things, but I'm trying to be as similar as possible so you can see. So right now, the things that are working the best, oh, look at that. Hard light is so pretty. I just want to paint that. I've already painted this, but now that I'm doing different things, I want to paint it again. For some reason, add is really pretty in this program. In Photoshop, add does nothing. So I'm really looking at, look how pretty that is over the flowers. So this is one of the things that is fun about this experiment, is that blending modes and things like that, even though they are the same blending modes, they do look different in different programs. Okay, so I'm pulling the dragonfly in. And I am going to I changed the blending mode to add because I really like that blending mode in this program. I'm going to get my eraser and I'm going to erase the part of the background that is over the flower and the face. I'm going to make the flower just a little bit bigger. Oh, that's the problem. I'm going to select both those flowers, make them a little bit bigger because I don't want that tangent edge. Right there, it was touching just the edge of her glasses. That's called a tangent edge. That means that it should overlap a little bit, not just touch it. It's just a little weird. Okay, it's going pretty good. And I'm doing just fine not using the AI remove background tool. Okay, what's next? Oh, I know. I have a bee. I don't want that one. Don't want that one. Oh, I have this honeycomb. I'm gonna doesn't. Over here on my selection tools, I have some choices. This is a perspective tool. Form a 4-point perspective transformation. This is the one I think is going to work really cool on this one. Distort an image or area using a customizable grid. And this is the deform tool. Warp your image using custom anchor points. This one's going to be cool. Okay, so this is what I was looking for. I was looking for a tool. When I click on this image, I'm adding anchor points right now. And now I'm going to use those anchor points to move my image and warp it because I'm trying to get it to fit inside these glasses. I'm probably gonna have to practice with this several times to get it to the way I want it to be. Erase. Now there's honeycomb inside of her eye. Okay. Let's see. Okay. I want to still see her eyes, so I'm going to kind of there it is. So I clicked darken, and now I have honeycomb inside of her glasses, but I can still see her eye, and that's exactly what I was going for. And I'm going to go get a bee. Okay. I'm just going to copy and paste, Command C, Command V. I just put the B in another layer, so that was one way to just kind of quickly get rid of most of the background. So let's try the background erase tool. I like how it kind of previews what it's going to erase. That's kind of neat. I'm going to have that hanging off of the eye. Okay, I selected hard light for that. I like the look of that. Okay, the last, I got a couple more things. I do have another flower in here I want to put in there. Where's my daisy? There it is. This one is already removed from the background. Again, I keep a folder of flowers that I've already removed from the background just to save time when I'm making sources of objects that I use frequently. It's a really good thing to do to collect sources that you gotta arrange, align, transform, flip horizontal, there we go, that you would use a lot. And generic flowers like daisies and roses and things like that you might use a lot, just have a folder of those on your desktop or in Google Drive that with the backgrounds already removed. Even if you have an easy to remove background app, it's still nice to be able to just drag and drop and not have to worry about any of that stuff. So I'm gonna go get I don't like this ugly thing right here, so I'm gonna erase that. Okay, I'm gonna erase that too. I don't like that either. Yeah, we're pretty much, you know what? We needed the honey coming out of her other eye. And I have two different sources of honey that I found, I think, or do I just have one? Oh, there's a drip on this, but there's no good like puddle. Oh, here we go. This one. This has a really good puddle, but it doesn't have a good drip at the end. So I'm gonna have to put that together, but I love the puddle. It's gonna fit in her eye perfectly. So, oh my goodness. So let's go get this and make this puddle in her eye. I'm gonna copy and paste. There we go. Okay. Now, so I'm gonna put this inside of her eye. And now I'm going to warp it. So I'm going to go get start with the perspective tool and try to perspective it in. Good enough. I should be able to paint a pretty good honey puddle from that. But what we can do is that. And I'm gonna blending modes. So you can make it look more transparent. So there's linear burn. Ooh, dark color looks good. Duplicate that and take off linear burn so that some of it, like this right here, isn't linear burn. So you can see still way too big. So. And when you're painting it, you can just, well, not you, I already painted this. So adjusted. Yeah. All right, so a kind of long drawn out process of figuring out, I need to put another B in here, how to get this same source from in Affinity. But I think we did pretty good. So, conclusion so far. I think Affinity is really close to Photoshop. I'm really impressed with it. So, I don't know it very well, but I could easily get by with Affinity. I'm gonna do iPad apps next, so stay tuned for Procreate, which I've used for a long time for painting, but not for really source making. And an app called Pixelmator. So we're gonna give those a shot. I'm probably gonna vary the source a little bit because I'm already getting really bored with making the source, but we'll still do the same techniques.